form of artificial intelligence. Like I said earlier, artificial intelligence is currently in a state of knowing things. It learns, but it's not self-aware. Alright, so there were plans to create many. I don't want to break a lot of things because I'm hoping that somehow, maybe in this generation or maybe some generations, there'll be sort of like speed jump, like a jump through time. Otherwise, the age is going to be very long. There is a lot of significant progresses. Will advance into other planets, other worlds, and the rest. And those who are waiting for the coming will die, and another generation maybe they are still waiting for the coming will die, stuff like that. But I don't want to talk about those things. So there is a machine. Okay, ask yourself about Google. Do you know that Google? I posted one time on my Facebook. Google should be feared. It is the most dangerous entity alive currently.
Yes.
That thing that you enter your web search engine, Google has all your information.
Yes.
All of your track record, everything, your shadow, your dust, Google has it. Have you seen that sometimes maybe when you Google it on Facebook, you just click on it, flash through it. On Google, you just go on Google, you just search, do some search and you just close your phone, and then the next thing you open your Facebook app, and then you open your Facebook app, and that thing what you search on appears as an advert on your Facebook to tell you how far you have been tracked. Oh man, you don't understand. Do you know that above us now, there are satellites, Google Map, this thing that you call Google Map, that you turn on to help you get from Ikodu to Epe. Use Google Map. Because I use Google Map to get it. I was monitoring the distance, yes, because when we reach junction, I don't really reach the junction. Google Map. How is the Google Map telling you where places are and describing, showing you the houses, showing you the name of the streets, because it's connected to the satellite. Vast network of satellite outside the earth. So it means that Google knows your location. Today, if they want to end a nation, or they want to kill someone, they don't need to send soldier to your house. How they sending soldier? It's just let us fulfill righteousness, go through the normal way. They can simply point a satellite to your house from outside the earth in space. You direct a satellite to your house and then drop a nuclear there. Drop a sort of weapon that is only your house that's consumed. That household, everything's finished. Don't need to move anywhere. That's how deadly.
What if the person does not use the phone at all?
Satellite is on. Phone, not phone is inconsequential. That's why you see some certain men, they don't want to be on Facebook, they don't want to use any phone. You are in an age where it's a jet age. What do you mean you don't have an Instagram account? You're not on the internet. How is your business exposed? How is your this and that? There are some men that don't like using the internet. Why? Because they, for some reason, have been in the system. They understand that social media is a surveillance system. Everything you are doing is being recorded.
Wow.
The internet never forgets. That's why if you go to all these European countries, you try to impress them, maybe with prophecy, try to bring their first generation prophecy, sometimes they won't believe you because their information is documented. It's on the net. They can search the ancestry. So that Google needs to be respected. I'm talking about these are working systems now. It's not just try a log or just pray. This is someone that have crafted a system now. That if he wants to end the civilization, if not by the mercies of God, maybe the bomb will redirect or something. And if God help you, have not tried to react. Is that deadly? So that in case we don't know how deadly, how dangerous these times are. So You might not be praying that one mad leader until it doesn't just turn and decides to unleash a nuclear. Like he just say, in fact, I'm tired of everybody in the whole world. I'm tired. Let me unleash my 200 nuclear weapons. So you start sending it like Russia was trending. You have a bomb that can end half of the world. And you think the man is joking. The world is sitting on the dying bomb. You see those G7 nations, all of them have nuclear warhead. Okay, now peace talk, peace treaty. Let us disarm our nuclear weapon. Let them be peace and harmony. You know what to do. So okay, small, we are lying to ourselves. You disarm one, you disarm two. Later you stop disarming. And then you pretend that you have disarmed 20. When it's only two that you disarm in the camera. And then small threat from the US, you quickly pre-guard the nuclear and say, try anything, still nuclear. Your civilization, your citizens will suffer. And even most of the advanced world, most of them, they will just be collateral damages. Because when you unleash those things in their own control, they can unleash their own. So those things are going up like that into the atmosphere, and one from the US is coming like this, and all of them crash in the air. God help you is in the air over your nation. That is an African nation. I'm telling you, it's so dead. I started to think about these things. Like, that's why when I hear this, I'm not really moved by the confession and stuff like that. I try to think of how can we solve problems? How can the mysticism, the spirituality, what can we create? For me personally, for example, I'm more interested in creating something that can heal sick people. That rather than being hands on, come, one, take it, two, take it, three, number 20, take it, 50. Oh my God, give me pure, now the man of God is there. I'm more interested in creating something instead of mystical thing that we can administer. You don't need to have faith. You take it and you are. Do you know that some of these youths that enter into all this occultism and the rest, all this Illuminati and stuff, through which they were lured in this American Idol, British Idol, systems that they created to spot the brightest talent and then lure them into. You don't know those things, they are systems. They are systems. Oh, you just see all those big companies coming to sponsor them. They are still part of the organization. Oh, you don't know how coordinated this attack is. Do you know that in the daylight, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, all these social media, they all pretend to be enemies. Every morning is a rival to themselves. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't have a Twitter account. He doesn't have a Twitter account. He only has Facebook accounts and maybe Instagram account because he owns it to come. So this one who is the owner of this social media platform, he doesn't have an account. So Elon Musk, he doesn't associate with Jeff Bezos. Both of them, they're like friends like that. They used to tackle themselves. Following them on Twitter. Sometimes, back in the past, because both of them did not agree. Why they began arguing was because they did not agree on a particular method of colonizing Mars. One wanted to nuke, Mars. Wanted to kind of terraform the planet by nuking. I think who brought the idea? Was it Musk and or Jeff Bezos? I don't remember now exactly, but one of them had the idea of nuking Mars to terraform it. And another had a certain kind of idea like that. So they weren't really happy after they met at a dinner, stuff like that. And then they began tackling themselves and then trying to win contracts with NASA, which is the National Space Agency in America, trying to win contracts with NASA. And then Blue Origin, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, got into a fight with SpaceX, which is owned by Elon Musk. And then they are fighting for contracts because for you to go to Mars and you have to go through NASA, you have to partner with them, sort of. It was even the development of these private space companies that hooked NASA up. NASA is publicly funded. You understand? But once the private companies rose and then there was a individual fund and then we can do this, let's go to Mars and let's like that. So they were fighting for contracts. Basically, SpaceX impressed NASA more than Blue Origin. So Blue Origin lost another. So different kind of feuds like that. And then there was a time again another war concerning patents, the patent of reusable rockets. So because Elon Musk he claims to be the first. You heard of the term reusable rockets? Do you know the okay? Well, not space people. Hey, see, you learn to be vast. You don't have to know everything, but know one or two things. If you go on Twitter, you follow important people, you read all these news. Not entertain, especially for ladies, please stop it. Entertainment news, stop that thing. You know, a lot of ladies like, I'm not trying to tackle you, or maybe I am. Stuff like, but a lot of ladies are getting into discussion, like they don't know anything, only entertainment. Like, okay, how far engage me intellectually? Because I didn't know what Genevieve is doing now. I just started. Entertainment news and just this movies. Like,
She was yesterday. That's what they know.
you know, try to be vast. He's a smart guy. A smart guy likes interacting with people that are fast. You prove you show that your intellect can even beyond beauty. The guy is already captured. If maybe I'm using side to say what I like, but if I see a girl on that level, man, I'm blown away like stuff like that. Anyway, so the patent, for the reusable rocket, because it's on the history books, like Musk is the first person to develop a reusable rocket. What that means is that, so back in the 60s, when NASA started launching rockets into space, and the moon travel, Buzz Aldrin and the rest of them. So those rockets, when you go up like that, you finish whatever you are doing with the rockets, and then they are coming back. So they come back to, I'm explaining that plain English. So the rockets come back into the earth. I know once you are entering into the atmosphere, there's a sort of atmospheric pressure. It catches fire, right? So it comes back, and then they redirect it to the water. So it's landing somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, of those big bodies of sea. There's landing, and then there's a sort of parachute, different parachutes to soft land, so it doesn't just crash into the water. And then that's it. That rocket that they assembled for millions of dollars or billions is gone. So that guy was the first guy to craft a reusable rocket that you can launch up and come back and land. Wow. To be reused 7 times, 8 times like that. That not been done before. So Bezos now came out with a sort of like, no. This thing has been scripted somewhere. You went to go and bring out one movie of maybe 1954, 1950. There was a movie that someone mentioned it. The author of the movie, they mentioned something like a reusable rocket. That's why I said, if you want to understand prophecy and the things that are going to be happening in this timeline, watch movies, sci-fi movies. Forget the other thing they always show, maybe the bypass stuff, but concept, you know what you're looking for. Focus on it. Do you know today now, if you see flying cars, you won't be surprised. If you suddenly see a flying car now flying, or you saw it on TV, you're not going to be surprised. Do you know why? They've been preparing your mind to expect a flying car. That's what the movie does. It is a subtle programming. It prepares your mind. Because what they do through those subtle programming is to kind of bring anybody's mind into an energy coordinate that can allow for the invention to enter into the earth. Hey, you don't know how scientifically spiritual these things are. There is a sort of energy level that must be on the earth for certain inventions to take root.
Yes,
so you have already collective thought. You have already welcomed it in your mind. It's like your mind is like you are contributing to a quota. That's why they will keep bombarding. It's not even just for profit making alone. They will keep bombarding you with these movies, bombarding like there was a time Jupiter Ascending movie. They released that movie according to the opening of the Stargate in Jupiter. They finished the movie production, but they didn't release it to a particular time frame because of something they wanted to accomplish.
Wow.
It's you that people do movie like so serious around. No intelligence. No intelligence in the movie. Let me leave that side. So Bezos was not claiming no, they can't have the patent. Like there was a movie someone wrote about the reusable rocket and stuff. Most of all these inventions have already been written. Someone wrote them. The virus, whether people believe it to be coincident or not, I think there was a novel of 1983. Someone wrote the coronavirus, Wuhan, the city where the thing broke out from. the terms, the way everything will play out. Only one or two details that were missed, but it was clear that the story of the one, how it would be a biological accident, the way the story was crafted mirrored the outbreak of Corona in China. Okay, you don't believe that one. Then there was another movie, I think this movie was titled Contagion or thereabouts. If I remember the name correctly, like is it Contagion? There was a movie where they mentioned all the terms that you associated with the coronavirus outbreak: lockdown, face mask, what's it called? Any number of days in isolation. They mentioned, you know, that when the coronavirus came, certain terms developed. For example, we weren't using any term like lockdown. Today, now, if you hear lockdown, the first thing is coronavirus. Because that lockdown, that language lockdown is not significant to coronavirus. And then, all the other things. So, a movie came out that was accurately describing the events and the language that was used in that time. The person, how did he get the information? He is also a script writer like you. In case you're planning to release a book or release a movie, to tell you that these men, let's not be arrogant. These men, we must acknowledge that to some extent they are wise. It doesn't diminish your don't, you know, the way we come and say, okay, everything is an invest. Yeah, he's a thief, I agree with you. But fool, I don't agree. No, I don't really agree. It's impossible for a fool to sustain this kind of resistance over a month. That guy is not. If you can craft system like this, I think you should pay attention. You should pay attention. These are systems. Today now you want to walk, and then there are certain gates that cannot open. So you give yourself to the allegiance. You bow down to those things. Let me retrace my step a bit. So I told you about the little feud between Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, right? Then I also told you about the subtle competition on Facebook, Twitter, and the rest. Why do you now Facebook doesn't have a Twitter account? Because it's a kind of I'm running a similar product to yours. Why would I now open an account to you? You understand that kind of subtle competition? So to you now, you think Facebook is in a competition with Twitter. Facebook is in a competition with TikTok. But do you know that when the rainbow movement began to gather pace, all these companies united together to do their rainbow equality LGBT. Not only that, even football clubs, right? Stadiums around the world began to put. How many of you, any football fans, anybody was last year, in which those guys had a sort of prize day, they call it prize day, where they changed the lighting system around their stadium into a sort of rainbow phenomenon. And then the banner or the logo of their club, their football jerseys, the logo, they change it. You know, on the Facebook and the rest, they put pride, whatever, pride color, rainbow color. And then even the captain's armband, they change it and then they customize it to the rainbow. That's how they hijack the rainbow color. Today they say a person wearing rainbow shirts now. Your immediate mind is LGBTQ. There's no more rainbow seven color, something like that. They hijacked it. But why am I saying that? Why did these companies that are in subtle competition, Facebook, Twitter, and the rest, even football clubs and the others, competition, why is it that they all came together to unite for the LGBTQ? It means you are the one that think that in the world. And the world that you see that is happening is theater and mainstream. It's the media, it's the drama. When it is time to, and this is what I want us to understand, most of us are in the business field and PE and own companies and conglomerates. This is what I need you to understand. When they were normal day life, they are quarreling and fighting and doing competition, trying to win over each other's customers. But when a time comes where they need to unify, to push an agenda, all of them unify. like Power Rangers, Voltron, they come together to form that big Power Rangers. Uh, it means that they are all working under the same agenda. It means they all subscribe to one thing. But if you look at our church today, you find okay, certain ministers can't buy this one. Because this one looks supportive, this one looks it's not preaching what I'm preaching. So you can't, even if the message is different, you can't even like what the supposed to do in Christian Association of Nigeria. The Christian Association of Nigeria. You cannot unify because that's what's supposed to happen. That it gets to a point when we are established in our various businesses and conglomerates. You know, you can still compete. For example, if I own an e-commerce store, you own an e-commerce store, of course, our advertising, but suddenly we hear an alarm from them. There's an agenda right now that we need to accomplish. We need competition aside for that moment. We now come together like a Voltron to push that agenda. Because that's what this platform is. They use their platform to push certain agendas. But you see, you are not even going to reach the stage of pushing any agenda if you are not. That's why I started by saying that job, see it as a channel for manifestation. First of all, see it as a channel for manifestation. Because certain times are going to come, we will need to bring our collective energies together, our collective platforms, and push for what is it. You know why the LGBTQ gain movement like that, gain pace like that. A lot of brands, popular, all the things that you are on Facebook, Twitter, all of them came together to promote it. Quality action, they all came together, slot in some